Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now in this video, we are going to be talking about the elephant in the room, which is the current state of the crypto market over the past couple of days and what this means for yield farming. But before we get into it, if you could please hit the like button, subscribe down below if you want to, and turn the notifications on so you don't miss a future video. Make sure to go follow me over on Twitter, etc. Links are in the description. And with that being said, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Always do your own research and be very careful about what you're investing in crypto and DeFi because it is the riskiest stuff in the world, as we have seen over the past few days. Bitcoin down 17.5% on the week, Ethereum down 27% on the week. Yes, so today we have had a slight bit of recovery. But I mean, Bitcoin down at $55,000. If we take a look here, we went from about 65K all the way down to about 49 over the past 7 days. Same with Ethereum. Ethereum is back below 3K. From 3.3K down to 2.1K we touched yesterday, 2.5 today. So what does this mean for the DeFi market? Well, I'm going to leave a link down below for Crystal. You can use Crystal to basically you can generate crystals, which will turn into crystal tokens when they do launch. Again, there's like some low-hanging fruit. You can just click this button and get 10 crystals a day. You can do all these things and get crystals as well, which will stack up, and you can basically earn free money just from yield farming. So the market is massively down. Actually, I think every single one of my positions on Uniswap are out of range. So what does that mean? Well, if we take a look at DeFi Llama, if you were in range, yesterday was over the past couple of days have been fantastic. $9 billion of volume on the 4th, and yesterday, $19.2 billion of volume in the market, which means if you were in range on any of your positions, you probably printed very nicely. Now, if you were lucky enough to be in range, again, you generated a decent amount of fees, but I went out of range very quickly on my positions. I'm sure a lot of people did. The majority of Uniswap positions are probably out of range. So what do you do, right? What happens now? Well, this is the thing with yield farming, right? If you're doing concentrated liquidity, you're farming between a specific price range of a token. Let's say you were in Bitcoin and USDT, for example. You may have been farming Bitcoin and USDT, Bitcoin between like 63 and 67K, for example, something like that. So you'd only earn fees between that range that you have supplied the liquidity for. Now, when that goes out of range, obviously you're converted into Bitcoin. Okay, so now you're holding Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's massively down. Now you can do two things. You're not printing fees at the moment. So there's two things you can do. You can either wait for it to go back in range, or you can rebalance, take the loss and rebalance and get back to earning fees. Now, usually I have a 72-hour rule. Okay, if my position goes out of range, I usually won't rebalance it for the first 72 hours. I'll keep an eye on it, and typically it does go back into range for the first 72 hours, in the first 72 hours. But with an event like this, completely, shock event that the market kind of dips 20% in a day and, $1 billion is wiped out in a day, etc. Obviously, it's not a typical market movement. We don't see this very often at all. It's happened many times, but it's not like a weekly occurrence. So you can't really plan for that day to day when you're yield farming. Because, if you have a super wide range, let's say, again, using that Bitcoin and USDT example, you're not going to have your range selected at like 40K to 75K. That's just ridiculously massive range. You're not going to be earning much fees at all on that. So it means there is obviously the chance that you're going to go out of range. Now, in an event like this, what I'm personally doing is not rebalancing at all. I'm just going to leave my Uniswap positions to kind of do its thing and hope the market goes back up. Now, in terms of my opinion, I probably think we're going to go down even lower in this market. This market is not very... it's just an interesting time with everything going on in the West at the moment. The UK is bad, America's bad, everything's bad. So, yeah. But this is the importance of being diversified. Okay, because yes, I have my Uniswap positions, but as you know from my weekly updates, which by the way will come on Thursday this week, the majority of my income comes from Aerodrome at the moment, the majority of my daily income, and these are still printing. Okay, now, yes, the Aero is down. I mean, if we take a look at the price of Aero, if we go over to here and have a look at Aerodrome, Aero is down at 65 cents. It's actually up 26% today, but it's down from like 87 down to 65. It was at 47 yesterday. So the dollar amount of these fees are going to be less because obviously, the price is down, but these are still printing for me, and I'm still getting my weekly rewards from my voting incentives. I'm still getting weekly rewards from the voting incentives as well. So this is why you need to be diversified in your portfolios. Now, again, if you're in a position on, let's say, Beefy Finance, which I don't have too much on Beefy at all. In fact, I don't have any active liquidity positions over on Beefy other than this GLP position, which I don't really look at. But if you're in any of these kind of blue chip positions or any position over on Beefy, then it kind of rebalances it for you, and you're still in range. You're still producing or printing fees. So that's the good thing about something like Beefy, and that's the good thing about something like Aerodrome, is that you're still printing fees. Yes, your initial balance is probably down because all of the tokens are down. So you're going to have a bit more impermanent loss this week than you have typically. But because these are consistently printing, I don't really look at that, to be honest, on something like Beefy Finance, because again, this portfolio is for income generation. So we've still got, like $200-300 just sat here, and I'm not even going to claim for another couple of days yet. So we're still going to have some decent emissions to claim when it comes to Thursday. Something like Extra Finance as well. If you're in Extra Finance using leverage, then actually I haven't even checked this position. Yeah, we're still okay here. So like this is why you have to be diversified when it comes to your liquidity positions. If you're just in things on Uniswap, or you're just in things on Aerodrome, etc., is why it's good to have money, kind of split between something like a native DEX where you're earning emissions, okay, and yield farming tokens, full range, and you can just come over to liquidity and have a look at some of these pools for yourself. I like to do volatile and then have a look at these pools. You can go into obviously the concentrated liquidity pools and you can earn some decent APRs here. But yeah, that's why it's so important to be diversified between different dexes and different kinds of yield farming, because if something's not working out for you, like if we're going massively out of range and your Uniswap positions are out of range, well, at least over on Aerodrome, I'm still producing fees over here. So for me, I'm not really going to touch it, to be honest. The stuff on Uniswap, again, I'm just going to leave and hope it comes back into range. I'll kind of reassess it depending on what this market is doing, because it's such a interesting time in the market and we don't know what's going to happen. I personally think we're going to go dip slightly lower and depending how the election goes in November, that's when we potentially start going back up. It's going to be an interesting few months. I think we'll probably end up staying pretty stable between 50 and 60K. But again, we could go down to 40. Who knows? I'm not a technical analysis expert when it comes to things like this. And I don't think anyone in this kind of market where the market can just tank 20% in one day at any given moment, I don't think anyone can predict what's going to happen at this point. So this is crypto. I mean, even the stock market, the S&P 500 down 3% in a day, etc. Like it's just not typical. But I will say, again, not financial advice, but I personally think if we do go into an 08 type of recession, if you have cash on the sidelines, I would probably be cash heavy right now, in my opinion. In my personal investment portfolio, in like the traditional markets, I'm pretty cash heavy, waiting for opportunities. Because if we do go into a kind of heavy recession, people that make the most money in the recessions is buying up those opportunities, and it's something that doesn't come around very often. So it could be good to position for such an event. But again, that's just my personal opinion. That's what I'm doing, and I am not a financial advisor. Everything could be great, and we could go to 100K tomorrow. Who knows? This is crypto at the end of the day. But that's my opinion. I'm not. Of course, it's worrying if your cash flow is completely just gone to zero overnight. But again, that's the importance of being diversified within yield farming. Things with full range pools such as Aerodrome, etc., is important to keep in a portfolio, in my opinion. I know VFAT has been going around recently and is getting pretty popular again. So that is potentially something to look at as well. But I may have a video covering that soon as well. I may start a portfolio on VFAT and we can see how that works. But Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're doing with your positions. My portfolio is down massively like everyone else's. But again, because I'm diversified in things like Aero and stuff like that, I'm still producing cash flow, even on these down days. So that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think. I haven't even checked my ledger. I don't want to check my Bitcoin, Ethereum holdings. I don't want to look at that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Could be a good buying opportunity. Ethereum at 2.4K is very undervalued in my opinion. Bitcoin's always going to be a good buy in my opinion as well. AVAX great at $20. Wow. Solana looks good as well. Everything is just looking nice. So for buying anyway. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.